Good evening, all amigos. I'm here in our fifth square in the center of Doha, Qatar. This is from the field, half an hour show about World Cup Qatar 2022. Let's start, like we always do, with the headlines. Back-to-back finalists. After winning the World Cup in 2018, France will have another chance this Sunday against Argentina. The African dream of lifting the World Cup has come to an end, but Walid Regragui said he's grateful that they had the opportunity to show the world that Moroccan football is alive and well. Sunday, December 18, Qatar National Day, and local authorities has declared it a holiday, the same day as the final of the World Cup. There are only two matches, one on Saturday for the third place and another one on Sunday for the big final. Today, the four teams they have the chance to rest, enjoy the day with the family, but let's go to see what's happened yesterday when France crushed the Morocco dreams. So there you have it. Argentina and France are going to play Qatar 2022 final next Sunday. Morocco's incredible run in this World Cup come to an end, but this is not over yet. They still have the third place game to play against Croatia on Saturday. France have made it to their second consecutive final, where Lionel Messi and Argentina await them. They are one win away from becoming the first team since 1962's Brazil to win back-to-back World Cups. On their way is Lionel Messi, the most popular player of this tournament, that has confirmed he will play his last World Cup game. He's not going to be alone. 40,000 Argentine fans are in Doha to say goodbye and gracias, Leo, for the memories to the superstar. Even though today there were not matches, there are five stories you have to know today about Qatar 2022. Go ahead, Charlie Montero.
In the 2006 World Cup, current coach Lionel Scaloni and Lionel Messi played together on the same team. Messi has been named player of the match in 52% of the games that he's played since 2009. The World Footballers Union, FIFPro, has opened up voting for players to choose the members of the FIFA Pro World 11 for the 2021 and 2022 season. The airline Royal Air Maroc canceled 7 direct flights between Casablanca and Doha a few hours before the match between Morocco and France in the World Cup semifinals, fearing a massive disembarkation of fans of the North African team without tickets. A Lusail Stadium security guard passed away. On Saturday, December 10, 2022, John Zhao Kiwu, a security guard at Lusail Stadium, suffered a serious fall while on duty. Qatar's tournament organizers are investigating the circumstances leading to the fall as a matter of urgency and will provide further information pending the outcome of the investigation.
Next Sunday, absolutely, is going to be a close game between France and Argentina. Those two teams, they know each other. They played 3 times in World Cup. The last time it was in 2018 in Russia when France became a champion. But this is a completely different France. This is a completely different Argentina. Let's go to see about what we can expect from this match
this coming Sunday.
Expectations are growing around this match, although both teams are two of the strongest selections historically in the tournament and with ample football experience, in addition to the fact that it could be Messi's last chance to bring the cup to the South American country and definitively establish himself as the best player in the world. Argentina guaranteed a place in this stage after defeating Croatia in the semi-finals in an overwhelming 3-0 that gave the Balkans no chance to score a goal, getting ready to dispute their second final in the last 3 World Cups, while the Gulls remain reluctant to surrender the title of champions and have reached the last stage again after beating Morocco 2-0 in an interesting match that showed the level of the Africans. Thus, Le Bleu and the Albicelestes will meet again for the 4th time as they did in Russia 2018 in the round of 16, with France winning 4-3, as well as in 1930 and in 1978. The Europeans will undoubtedly deliver unforgettable performances through the likes of Mbappe, Giroud and Griezmann, who will put pressure on the South American team, at the same time as the Argentinians will give their all on the field with the guidance of Messi and the spirit of Diego Armando Maradona.
There are only 3 days left until the end of the World Cup, and of course all the fans are doing a balance to see how was this World Cup Qatar 2022. Charlie has the chance to talk to some of them, and that's what I told him.
Thank you, Carlos. The World Cup is almost over, and I didn't want to leave Qatar without talking with the fans to see how they experienced the World Cup. Come with me and we'll find out what they had to say. What's one place that somebody visiting Qatar has to know?
Oh, yes. I'm going to say 2 places. So number 1 is the Museum of Islamic Cultures, which is a gorgeous, beautifully architecturally designed space that sits on the water. And number 2 is the Methaf Museum, which hosts a huge selection of art, of modern arts from the Middle East and North Africa, including, some of the pioneers of modern art that left their mark in this region. So I hope people will get to do that and to see a little bit more than matches and screaming and this joy that we're witnessing right now.
How have you been experiencing the World Cup so far?
It's been incredible. It's been wonderfully organized. It has been peaceful. It has just been a celebration of people from different countries, different cultures, speaking different languages, all coming together, having fun. It's been incredible.
And is there something about Qatar that surprised you that you didn't expect to be like this?
I wasn't sure whether everything would work out that well because some of the infrastructure was only finished just before the World Cup. But I'm so glad that just everything worked perfectly, like the transportation, like the hotels, the fan zones, the activities, all the games really super smooth, no problems at all. Fantastic. Well done, Qatar.
How have you been experiencing the World Cup so far?
Well, it's been a fantastic 6 weeks for us here. We love the crowds. We love the fans from Latin America. They have so much energy. The Mexicans, the Argentinians, and we're so happy to see that Argentina's in the final.
Is there something about Qatar that surprised you?
I love how well organized everything's been, but also as a woman, I love how safe I feel here. There's so many misconceptions about, places like Qatar. I mean, I'm here, I'm walking, I'm wearing shorts, I work, I go to the gym. We have such a full life here, and that's what I want the world to know.
I agree with all the fans. It was a great World Cup Qatar 2022. But now let's challenge you. I want to see how much you know about football, this beautiful sport. The question is like this. Which was the last team that won 2 FIFA World Cups in a row? We are going to give you the answer at the end of the show. I remember you can follow us on Twitter at From the Field. We'll be right back with much more. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Let's talk about last night, Morocco. They played a good game, but they couldn't beat France. They lost 2-0. But you have to consider that it was the first time that an African team went so far in a World Cup, and that's thanks to Walid Regragui. Walid Regragui, the coach from Morocco, he's been on the position less than a year, but changed the mentality of the whole team. Let's look at the story about him and the Moroccan team.
As his French roots are in him very tight, Walid Regragui arrived at the Moroccan bench with the slogan of the Musketeers, one for all and all for one. This way, he convinced Hakim Ziyech to return to the national team. This way, the reconquest of Iberia began. This time, the warriors of Morocco will be the footballers, Hakimi and Rabat, Bono and Nesiri, Ziyech itself, and Regragui commanding the feat, beating Spain first and Portugal later. The short experience of the head coach of Morocco was not an impediment to taking the reins of the Atlas Lion, but he was something in his favor. He has been director in Qatar previously, in the Al Duhail in 2020. Regragui has been the sensation of the World Cup in terms of technical directors. The solid defense of his team and the successful reading of the matches against renowned counterparts has put him in the semifinals for the first time to a team and head coach from the African continent. At 47 years old, is also one of the younger head coaches in the World Cup. In this way, the merit is even major. Regragui has said that this deed is not a miracle as much as said. It's the fruit of hard work and the union of the Moroccan team. However, the illusion of a whole continent is put in the 23 men that he has under his command. The Arab and the African world goes with the Atlas Lions. The deed of Morocco in the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 never will be forgotten, and Regragui either.
Now the goal of Morocco is to finish third in a World Cup. If they made it, it would be the first time for an African team. Today was a day to relax, to visit Doha, and Charlie has the chance to talk to some fans to see what they think about this World Cup. Let's go with Charlie.
How have you been experiencing the World Cup so far?
It's so good. Better than expectation.
Is there something that surprised you about Qatar?
No, actually no.
Have you been here already before?
This is my second time.
Your second time. And your first time was before the World Cup?
Yeah, it was before.
And what changes have you seen from before the World Cup and during?
I love how the city's all in lights. The buildings are having so many pictures, posters. I love it. It's like celebration in the streets.
How are you experiencing the World Cup so far?
It's so interesting. We have been here since 3 days, and we love the vibes and the atmosphere. Everyone is walking and everyone is wearing, they are supporting, and the buildings, they keep posting some pictures of flags and decorations. It's amazing.
Well, so far is very nice, very well organized. I've been to a few games of Spain, which is my country, and it's been quite nice so far, very well organized.
We are living here since 15 years already. Our son is born here as well. So for us it's very nice to see how the streets are finally crowded and a lot of tourists here. So I think everything is very good organized. I think also that locals are very proud of what they have done and how the city has grown. So I think it's a great event,
Very nice, actually. We enjoyed like anything, and I feel very sad that it's going to be over within 3 days. But right now we are enjoying like anything. It was a fantastic time.
You said you've been living here for a while. What's one thing that changed from before the World Cup and now?
Before, I have never seen such a big crowd here. And now people are really enjoying, and people from different diverse nationalities, culture are coming and mingling, and we get a chance to know each other and how the people are, how good the people around the world are, and we feel like one, like everyone in one country, like the globe came to one country like that. So it was really nice time knowing each other, talking to different nationality people, and it was a great time. Yeah.
I think this is the hardest question when you ask Qatari people or anyone who is in Qatar, because there is a lot of places you can go and it's based on you, what you like. But Sharib here is one of the best, and Sea Lion in Qatar, Bear, a lot of places.
Thank you, Charlie. Today a reporter for Kosovo was asking me the difference between Maradona and Lionel Messi. And I told him the difference on the field, they were two great players. Messi wins a World Cup on Sunday. It's going to be like Maradona, also he won a World Cup. But the difference between Messi and Maradona was outside of the field. Maradona always was in the side of the weak. He was always on the side of the left. And that's the main difference between Maradona and Messi. But let's see how Diego was so involved with our different causes in our region, Latin America.
I don't want to be Bolivar. I don't want to be San Martin. I don't want to be anyone. I want to be Diego Armando Maradona. But let us not let them eat us again. Those who want to eat a piece of land every day, who want to take a little bit of oil every day.
Diego was intransigent against international economic power. He was in favor of the struggle for equality and to achieve equity in life. He believed that everyone should have access to the same, and also stood up for equal opportunities, for the dignity of the people, and the right to develop a different model that represented the interests of the majority, not of certain social sectors, more democratic and more inclusive. He closely followed the situation in Venezuela, in Brazil, with the harsh attacks on former President Dilma Rousseff, in Uruguay, in Ecuador, with Correa, in Bolivia with Evo, in Chile. Everything related to the struggle for these ideals interested him, denouncing on more than one occasion the political siege imposed on progressive governments.
We have to fight them. Even if they want to step on our heads, we have to say, here we are. As Comandante Fidel said, this is a war of ideas.
A sense of justice and humanity that also translated into criticism of FIFA, exposing corruption and cracks in the functioning of the organization within the world of football. Issues such as the imposition of abusive conditions, unequal participation in terms of generated profits, abusive charges for the transmission of matches to underprivileged countries were some of the claims made by the 10 to the Federation. He was truly a man of an extraordinary commitment.
Diego was always very critical of FIFA, but now I want to share with you Hector Villar from Cuban television have the chance to interview the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino. Let's see what kind of question he asks Infantino.
La verdad, un mundial espectacular.
Well, honestly, a wonderful World Cup. For the first time and maybe the only time in history, a World Cup is played in a place where there are 8 stadiums in 50 kilometers, where you can see up to 4 matches every day, where the weather conditions are fantastic between 25 and 30 degrees. The stadiums are beautiful. This World Cup is for the players the first trophy of the season, and then they all come with a desire to play good, and then, well, a show on the field and off the field with the fans. Unbelievable. I believe that what we have been trying to do for some years now, and we have, of course, our Cuban in FIFA, Luis Fernandez, who is also a football legend. We are working to make soccer truly globalized, not only in words, and for the first time in history, in 92 years of World Cup history, we have had teams, national teams from all continents that qualified in the second round of the World Cup. Talents are everywhere, in Cuba as in Brazil, or in Germany, or in England, or in France, or in Argentina, or in Morocco, or in Croatia. All over the world there are talents. Our job has to be to discover those talents and give them the best opportunities.
let's do a short break and we'll be right back with much more information. You can follow us on social media at From the Field, and you prefer to follow me, my account is at C Montero Official and at TeleSUR English. We'll be right back. This is Carlos Montero from the field. This World Cup, it was the first World Cup in the Arab world, in a Muslim country. And muchos wonder what's happened. A lot of people wonder what's going to be a World Cup in the Arab world. Okay, it turned out to be a great World Cup. Let's see the story.
Qatar is the first Arab country to host a World Cup, and instead of being recognized for the great efforts that have been put into the event, it has been the center of a hurricane of criticism from the West, which seeks to politicize the celebration as a result of deep-rooted ideological prejudices and discrimination against the non-Western world. Human rights are a recurrent topic that aims to undermine the credibility of Qatar's efforts to offer a World Cup with the infrastructure and organization required to meet the expectations of both teams and fans, although paradoxically, the greatest humanitarian disasters of recent times have originated from the interest of the major Western powers, leaving millions of people in vulnerable situations and without any protection, which shows the double standards of all these allegations. Beyond controversies, the Qatar 2022 World Cup has been a success and has made history, despite attempts to ignore the impact it has had on the world of soccer and culturally, considering that it has served to bring the Arab world closer to other cultures. For the first time, the presence of Asian and African teams was overwhelming, showing that not only in Europe and South America good soccer is played, and that what really matters is sport.
Now let's go back with Charlie Montero and the fun of the day.
Thank you, Carlos. We're back with my favorite segment of the program, the fan of the day. And today we have a very special fan. Please welcome. What's your name and where you're from?
I'm Mohammed. I'm Iranian. I live in Qatar since 1972. Yes, I'm in Qatar, yes.
And where did you get the idea for this from?
Well, these are the pins which you're looking about it. It's all from the sports, from the games, from the clubs and from Olympic, and I start to collect it since 2006 when the Asian game was in Qatar, Asian Olympic on 2006. From that time, I'm starting to collect. I first start with the small cap, and one of my friends told me, okay, Mama, go, you can do. No, I have full set with me now.
Wow, that's amazing. So many soccer teams from all around the world. He's got Argentina here. He's got England.
You can find most around the world. I have many. All.
And is this your first World Cup, or?
Yes, this is my first World Cup, and we are so happy. The first World Cup I see in Qatar, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was, I think, I never seen the other World Cup, but I think this is the best one. Believe me. Qatar did a good job. Good. All the best for Qatar, and I wish for everybody who came to Qatar all the best and have a nice time in Qatar, and I hope all the best for everybody.
Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy the game. You're very nice. Thank you so much.
Okay,
bye. Ciao. There you have it, Carlos. The fan of the day, a very special moment for us. Back to you.
Thank you, Charlie. Let's see how you did with the trivia of the day. Remember, the question was, which was the last team that won the 2 FIFA World Cups in a row? If you said Brazil in 1958 and 1962, you were right.
In 1962, during the FIFA World Cup celebrated in Chile, Brazil, beat Czechoslovakia and became the second country to win 2 championships of the world consecutively. In 1958, they defeat Sweden, achieving the first star. On the other hand, the first team that did this was Italy in 1934 and 1938, beating Czechoslovakia and Hungary respectively.
Now let's go and see how you did completing the sentence. Today the question was, who said this famous phrase? The phrase was, I'd rather be a good example for children than be starved. Let's see who Yolanda won. Zinedine Zidane and Del Goleado, we have 2 winners. Also he said the Wizard of Zidane. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Del Goleado, for participating always in the question of the day and having the right answer. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much. Gracias, amigos. See you all tomorrow at the same time for the same channels.